running about
I ain't got
30
no
minutes
love.
late.
That nigga crazy. We live, coach. We live, coach. We live, coach. We live.
Oh, so he be balling. What you be balling home, Mike? Meow, meow.
In this
Too many
Tesla.
cops on the road. Tell him like, what you worried about that for, Mike? You white.
Right?
Cops ain't fucking with you. You white, Mike.
Pull them motherfuckers over and get cuss them the fuck out. What the fuck are you stopping me for? I know I was in a fast lane doing a fast. That's what the fuck is called, fast lane. Yep, sir, you was doing 100. And I don't give a fuck. Let us get pulled over. Niggas scared as hell. Like, yo, don't even look at them, bro. Don't
Hey,
say
look.
shit.
Hey, I text him that shit too. Oh, see what he gonna say back.
Like, don't
Say,
even look at them,
bro,
coach.
cops ain't fucking with you, Mike. You white, bro. So I think he gonna say.
Don't say nothing to the cops.
LOL. That nigga about to say LOL. He probably gonna say you right. Like I know. New season, new toys.
Oh yeah, that's a good name. The
Ain't
toys.
nothing better than just chatting up and
The
having fun, cuz.
toys.
Not talking about we ready. We ready. We're live. Who won the off season, man? Who won the off
He
season?
said only when they get me pulled over.
He know damn well they pulled him over. He's snapping. Who the fuck told you to pull me over in the first place? I am a anesthesia nurse. I save lives, you fuck. You know I got black friends too, so I don't give a fuck. My boy Ant said we're about it, about it. Fuck you. And Black Lives Matter, motherfucker. All right. I talked to you, Max, man. Shout out and hit the franchise guru season 7 Real Talk for Show premiere. Who won the off season? Of course, diaper dandy conversation comes up. So we getting right into it, man. We got an oldie but new back in the building, man. My diaper dandy convo always usually happen with the boy Snake, who's back in the building to be able to give us some conversation on these rookies that will be coming in and who's going to have impact right away and what guys are in graveyards, what guys are just not going to play in football right now. You know, it was some big time players that can't. When I say big time, I mean that literally. It literally was some like giants in this draft. I mean, ridiculous sized guys in this draft, man. I think guys got better in certain spots if they grab some of these massive, especially the line, man. The O line and the D line is different this draft. Um, Flat out. So let's get to it. And the conversation starts as it always does. Who won this draft, man? Who won the off season? Who won the fucking off season? But what I do know is that, you know, we're gonna talk about everybody's pick in the first round, man. We got to. That's just something we got to deal with right now. So, pick number 1, Patriots. We had our first trade to the Cardinals. Cardinals slide into the number 1 spot, and they go with pick number 1. They decided that they wanted to go D tackle. Now, the D tackle they picked has a brother in the league that got drafted the year before. So before we get into the new one, let's talk about the one that was already in the league last year. Because when you picked that guy, Max, everybody was like, God damn, he got a giant at literally a giant on a Giants team at D tackle, and nobody knew he had a brother coming out the very next year, man. So talk about the pool and the pool family.
I call these young gentleman, Mountain Men. Um, just reinventing the game. I ain't gonna lie, you can't name me nobody unless it's like the fridge that was this big, this fast. Maybe Mean Joe Green, he was like tall as shit too, but this big, this fast, and this I damn near want to call them like league ready guys just based off of size. You can't teach size, you can't teach work
Pause.
ethic. Pause. You can't teach work ethic. You can't teach some of them intangibles that you just can make you a high value draft pick, and then to just fall into a system where coaches love defense. I feel like those players, these guys are both at great homes, honestly.
What the fuck phone going off in the background? We the most ghettoest show ever, bro. Oh my god. Niggas ain't changed his name. We got two Carls. What type of shit their parents is on? We got two sons named Carl. The fuck? Oh my god. Let's do some things. Give me a second. We gotta motherfucker hit that mute button real fast. Can't allow that to happen no more. All right. So you drafted Carl Poole. Chris Poole went number one overall. Did you see this coming? Him though, number one overall though. Anybody?
No, only because the coach and the team, they've never really done a D line that early. Um, so it kind of definitely caught me off guard. Wasn't looking for trench work, from the Arizona Cardinals. Um, but after, just thinking about what they needed and one of their needs this late in the game, it doesn't seem like you have needs. Better coaches are always trying to get better. And I feel like him stopping the run is something he's been trying to do overall, and what better chance to stop a run in season 7 of real draft, where you go and draft a 6'9", 6'10", excuse me, 380-pound freak in the middle. After seeing that, after going against and seeing that his 6'9" brother, 375 pounds, was very successful, I feel like why not?
All right. So I'll ask you, Snake. What does this type of player bring to the Cardinals defensive front four?
Man, dominant. In the right system, this is a dominant player, bro. It's something we ain't never seen. I don't know what to expect from him. I'm just expecting to see some stuff we haven't seen before, to be honest. Just uh, this size, pause, and stature and everything. With this, just I think he come into the league with man strength. A lot of the guys come in the league. They're not really. They still have to turn fully. Their bodies have to mature.
Right.
But like he mature, he's ready. Like the Giants say, he game ready.
Yeah, I
You
think
expect to see that right away.
day one starter right away, plug and play. I mean, he could probably control both sides of the A gaps by itself. Jesus Christ.
He should be a rookie of the year defensive rookie of the year candidate.
What
Early
do
defensive
what
favorite,
would
bro.
you say though? Like for that to happen though, what do you say the Cardinals like? What type of do they have to change their scheme? I mean, this is the same team years ago who had multiple 20 sack guys on their
20
D
sack
line.
guys over there, bro. Like, yeah, like that's what. And then you give him somebody like this. He still has the veteran. What was the guy?
Cumberland. Yep.
Cumberland.
Yep.
So like he still really got the veteran and Cumberland over there. Then like, I mean, like, sheesh. I'm in all honesty, I'm kind of intrigued to see him. I'm gonna have to watch a game or two just to see what he do.
Yeah. I.
You
All right.
expect
So
to see him smacking down ball passes,
right. Like man. Like
reaching over guards and tackles, tackling people, blowing up the hole. Like, man, if he reaches full potential, I don't expect nobody to be run up the middle of this fool. To be
all
honest,
right,
like just like
Max.
that.
Would you drafting his brother last year? What should the Cardinals expect out of the younger brother Chris Paul?
Uh, uh early problem. I feel like I was saying, and them being game ready, they make noise early. Um, You should expect double teams consistently. I feel like you expect double teams consistently on him. You can set him up to maybe win in certain situations, or you set him up to have somebody else win. The Cardinals have, like we was talking about, like you said, had D ends and D tackles in the same year, 20 sacks. Well, it's like pick poison with this type of D line because of the way that he's going to be able to be positioned on the field.
And when they go forward down lineman, and somebody's getting double teamed, right? I think he's going to draw that attention when they already got two dogs on the edge already. When they got the Tyreek Smith and Trayvon Walker, both of these guys are active, and they do get to the quarterback a lot. So I think that makes how much of his impact makes these two guys play better.
I think that definitely plays a part. I feel like it did for me, in a sense. So I definitely can see it for the Cardinals just because they've already been a successful pass rushing team in years past.
Are we going to see Chris Poole with defensive stats, or is this the type of D tackle that's just going to take on blocks and let those linebackers run free? Like the Ray Lewis
I think
type
we'll
of
see
D
a
lines. You know what I
combination. I
mean?
think we'll see a combination of the two. Well, right before you said that, what I was getting ready to say is another side of it. I don't think we'll see his entire impact
Right,
just in his stats
right,
because this is the type of player that should automatically get double teamed.
right.
If he reaches anywhere close, if he gets anywhere close to his plays, anywhere close to his potential, what his numbers say, you're gonna have to double team him every play, just
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
agree.
like he automatically somebody, and we know, like you said, we've seen the Cardinals with 20 or two or three 20 sack players or whatever. He could free up a lot of stuff, and he's gonna blow up a lot of stuff. So I mean, potentially, man, he might have just changed the Cardinals defense, which is scary.
Again, how much accelerating does he do for Justin Flo at middle linebacker, being able to run better, hit gaps and run free, knowing that he's going to keep those guards off of him.
To be honest, I think we should actually we haven't really seen even with Justin Flo, we haven't has he been as dominant
He
as you kind
hasn't.
of
He
expect.
hasn't. He hasn't.
So
And
like adding that D tackle, we could potentially see that adding that D tackle to size Chris Poole, like you could
Oh
actually
wow!
see the Justin Flo like really like maybe play at a potential his potential level, or he might
I'm a,
have somebody else over there that pop up, but like one of them linebackers should really like
somebody, yeah. And see, the Justin Flo is not the linebacker that the Cardinals they usually want to play with. Like he's a thumper. He's a throwback linebacker. I think he's gonna really be able to control the run game through his linebacker level with that D tackle sitting in the middle like
I
that.
definitely would vouch for that because when Poole's rookie year was Reed's first year on the field, Reed led the team. RC led the team on his first year at linebacker with like 89 tackles, which I haven't got that high of tackles since shit like Von Taylor out of
Especially when
one
you
specific
using them.
linebacker. I mean that too, but even when I wasn't, because I had my player or whatever, RC would get out of games 9 tackles, 5 tackles, three
Right.
tackles for loss, shit like that. And I'm thinking like that could easily be a direct because I already had Scarborough. You know what I'm saying? So then I add
Hmm.
6'9". It was like, God damn, at that point, is he getting I was just thinking about when you said it. It could be a direct tie to just him being able to get to, running backs quick and, easy with the hole being held up and guys not being able to chip and get second level um on them inside runs and such.
Man, I think Justin Flo numbers should go up tremendously. Uh,
At
if
least 15 to 20 tackles, at least more, I think. Just based off of like, what I'm saying,
I mean,
playing.
I think across the board, I mean, you can get that additional pressure, or he's going to require a double team. So that's the extra player that has to be accounted for. That's a free player running.
Yeah, yeah,
Justin Flo being the captain of that defense, the center of that defense, he should get some free hits. He should have some free hits to the running back. You should be able to catch you some extra picks. Like he everywhere. We know how he uses linebackers. It should be a year for Flo because like last year was definitely a down year for Flo.
he should have an easier flow getting to the football as well. No pun intended.
Yeah.
with that D tackle there, man. This is huge, man. This is one of the biggest D tackles we've ever seen ever in the league with that type of athleticness too, man. A guy has 88 agility, 90 change of direction at this point at D tackle. This is a man freak, man. This is a new wave of. This is what happens late in real draft, right? You got to get these guys on the field, and the only way you're gonna play a rookie if their abilities are, their overalls are high enough to get them on the field. And this guy comes on the field. We all in agreement that he's a day one starter, right?
For sure.
All right, so let's talk potential. Can this do we see a guy with double digit sacks as a rookie, or do we see a guy that he's gonna play at an all pro level, but the stats ain't gonna show how good he really was for this team? Like, which one you
I'm
think
not
would
It
sure.
be?
could
I'm
be
not gonna call it a
sacks.
sacks, but I'll call it tackles for losses.
Yep,
And
yep.
like I say, but I think the impact. Shit, this mug. I'm sorry, this mug already. He gonna come in the league fully fledged, man. He already got the C on his shirt, jersey, and everything, man.
That's what I
He
Oh
said.
been named
God,
the captain before the season, before he even touched the field. Like, oh,
how
it's
right?
big things. The sky's the limit. I look. I'm sorry. The coach over there put the C on his chest. I need to see it. I mean,
I mean,
sheesh.
you
I
don't
think
you don't come out of a rookie class and ain't played a down of football in the regular season in the NFL yet. You already a captain?
I mean, that means camp for him was undisputed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Yeah,
means the
undisputed
workout. That
camp.
mean all. That means
Everything,
prior
yo.
to camp.
Since
Prior
I
to
was about to
camp
say,
was
yeah,
ridiculous.
since day one, they've been like his first day
Hey,
in the weight
dog.
room, his
they
first day
brought
on
him in
the
for
I
field,
they brought
mean,
him in for a pre-draft interview and it was over with.
so I think the
basically.
pressure's. I think with that being said, the pressure's on him.
Yeah,
Anything short of being in the conversation for defensive rookie of the year, like unless let's just say something crazy. Let's just say it's a year where like a Justin Flores, somebody on his defense becomes out to be like defensive player of the year or something, and then you don't see pool stats way up like that. That's the only way I think you'll counter. That's when the thing you say, look, it's not showing up in them stats really. But it's a lot of pressure on this guy. First
but
10, 6'10", 380. Oh my God.
and I got 85 speed, 88 excel with
85
88
speed,
agility and 90 change of direction. That big that way right now.
98 strength, 95 power move, 95 finesse. Right, man.
Without playing it down in the league, let's see where he at right now. He's the number 67th ranked defensive player, defensive tackle in the league right now without playing it down.
That's
Um,
at least. Uh, that's you said 67.
He a
yep,
true 94 overall
So
though.
I
He a
mean,
true 93, 94.
that's everybody's starting D tackle and everybody's second D tackle. But if you got more
What?
than two D tackles, he's basically better than your third and fourth D tackle.
right now without playing it down to
Right,
football
without
right now.
playing it down right now.
It's tremendously.
Season 7. Oh my
So
God.
are we all in agreement that this was a great pick?
Oh yeah, for
Do
sure.
we any of us have any
Definitely.
problems with him being a number one overall
No.
pick in this draft?
This is what you
No,
call a generational talent.
no,
Yeah,
no.
I can see it now. I
Never
can
seen
definitely
nothing.
see it.
Never seen nothing like that.
Yeah,
All right, so shout out to the Cardinals with their first round pick. We're gonna slide to the Vikings now, and they went quarterback in this draft, Snake. This is the number one, actually number one player on the board. Um, Now with Malik Murphy here, do you think they got to upgrade here in the quarterback? I mean, you already 92 overall. You already in Red Arrows. They already got their ass kicked. What does this do for the Vikings though?
Um, is he X Factor? He X Factor,
Yeah,
ain't
he X factor
he? Yeah,
when he
Billy O,
unlocked.
he is X Factor when he unlocked. So, I mean, he gives him a little bit more mobility. Other than that, it's really kind of like the kind of same type of. I mean, actually, he comes out better than his
Yeah,
existing quarterback. So I guess
it's short, medium, and deep route. I mean, they kind
oh,
of
it's
like,
a
what I mean, it's an upgrade. I think it's an upgrade
it's
at
an
quarterback.
upgrade, right? He's showing red arrows down, so
That's
he
because they
probably
lost
true
to the
93.
Bills already.
They just lost. Okay, you got to take them walking. Did he play him? Yep, he only got 110 snaps. So yeah, I just
93,
think
93 overall. It's just two overall right now.
93 overall.
Yeah,
He's a little bit more faster, a little bit more accurate. It's an upgrade. I mean,
I definitely
it's
think it's an
definitely an
upgrade.
upgrade. So I can't really be mad at it. I mean, a little bit better, more accurate, a little bit more mobile. We know how the game is. He's a little bit more. Damn. You break down that number. He look like he's a lot more ready.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
I like it. I like him.
Man,
Murphy had a few years under his belt. Hasn't gotten anything done over there with that team.
he
They
ain't
needed
do
a
what he was
change
supposed
there.
to
Yeah.
do. He
So
didn't take the trajectory that he was supposed to
right.
take. So like, you definitely upgraded the position. Like, she's just
Yeah.
not a
So
bad pick.
I have no. Yep. I was going to say the same
Now
thing.
that
I have
I'm
no problem
actually
with this.
looking at him and breaking him down, this is actually a solid pick.
Hmm.
I'm
All
not
right.
mad at this pick at all.
So we go to number three. The Seahawks traded the number three pick to the football team and moved back to pick 11 and got a stud cornerback out of the deal and a linebacker out of the deal. So the football team moved up to three. Obviously, when you're moving up in the draft, you got your eyes on somebody. The player they drafted is, to me, possibly might be the best player in the draft. Um, Now, here's my. We're going to talk about negative, positive, but let's talk who Nicholas Harbor is. First of all, Snake, he's from your area, so I'm gonna give you the floor first. What are we looking at right now?
Man, you looking at like fucking
This ain't no plus twos after the draft, none of that. That's his true.
nah.
This is who he is. This is what he came out.
He just a dog, young boy, go get it. I think I see that middle. He moved him middle linebacker, more or less a pass rusher though. Like I say, my thing about him, I say he was a Parsons, a super juiced up Parsons. Like Parsons came into the league as a linebacker, and then once they start putting his hand in the dirt, sending him out to that QB, it was like, oh, they found his niche. That's what you need to do. He's a
Right.
fucking dog. 6'7", 255, and he got that speed and like 297, 97. Like,
So we
he'll
talking
probably
about
be
a
a dog.
kid that runs a 10-2, and he's not even 20 years old yet. So in real life, let's just talk about who the player is in real life. This is a real life Madden player, a real life player in high school right
Like,
now that will be coming
yes,
out in the
man,
23 class. All right, he's from the DMV area. This kid is at 6'7", 255 pounds. He's a track star. He runs the 100 and the 200, and his 100 he runs a 10-2. And he's saying that he wants to be running a 9-9 before he get out of high school. He also runs the 200 and he ran a 21-2 and that. This guy got wheels. He's flying. Somewhere between a 4.32. They said he got to a 4.31 as his lowest time. Somewhere between 4.31 and 4.37. This kid's flying. He's a big body guy now. In high school, he done it all. He
fucking
played every
freaky.
position in linebacker, DM, but he's really, like you said, a pass rusher. So why are we looking at him at middle linebacker right now? Like, what does Max? I go to you with this question. What did the football team see in this guy to make him play linebacker at middle linebacker at that?
If I'm taking a guess first, I'm going with the just the size and alone. They just feel like that he can be a flat out obstruction in the middle. Um, it's my initial thought. Like put him in the middle, 6'7". Even I don't care if you quarterback spy, you middle reading in cover two, you doing hook curl in cover three, your middle zone in cover four. I don't give a fuck what coverage you running. A 6'7" dude in front of you doesn't need lurker at all. Like he's probably going to. That's my initial thought. Then
Right
after
now,
that,
he's ranked 49th overall linebacker in the league without
that's
playing a down
insane.
of football.
It's
Now,
32, and you go to the. You know what I'm saying? That's
I'm not mad at him seeing a middle linebacker out of this kid because he does have 85 man, 85 zone
that's the second
right
part I was
now,
getting to. Yeah,
right?
is
So
that he
so he's an
can cover.
athlete. And, he played tight end as well in high school, so he's an athlete now. But my thing is, I'll ask you this, Nate: Are they taking away from what this kid really can do by putting him at middle linebacker?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I think so a bit, but that was like kind of like why I kind of like compared him to juiced up Parsons, because you think about it, Parsons came to the league. We know he a jack of all trades, does this,
Hmm.
does that. But when them Cowboys took them injuries, and they needed that pass rusher, like you seen a whole nother side of Michael Parsons that they just didn't. He wowed them. I think in this move, him moving the middle linebacker. One thing we didn't mention that, the kid is an honor student. He
Yeah,
got above a
yeah,
4.0 GPA, all that.
yep.
So even with him being a track star, the football star, playing every position, the size, everything,
He's
like
cerebral.
he's
He's
just a freak,
cerebral.
just a
He could,
freakish
yep.
kid. So like I think the football team is wants to try to take advantage of different aspects of his game and just and see what he does. You know, he's a smart. He got a 4.20, above a 4 GPA and all that shit. So I think he want to try to attack the brains and see if he can be the center of the defense. But I think
He
him
can
and that.
still play. I think this move is an ability move, right? That's what I'm gonna call it. But I do think we're gonna see him at outside linebacker. We're gonna see him at the pass rush and nickel and dime. Now you pair him up as just let's look at him as an outside linebacker, not a middle linebacker. Let's look at him as an outside linebacker with his pass rushing ability, and also can drop back and cover in the flat. But just think about what they're matching him up with. Now, Snake, you talked about this late last night at length. Number 14. You didn't even call him by his name. You called him number 14. Pair him up with Shamar Stewart. What does that do for this Washington football team's front seven?
When we think about a lot of defensive lines in the franchise, I mean, you automatically can put the football team in one of them in that conversation about some of the top defensive lines, the years that and
Uh-huh.
things that we've seen. Um, man, following up with Shamar Stewart, like it ain't like you got send. Can you only send 2 pass rushes?
Man, in the last
Like
3 years, they
if you
drafted,
could do that, you'd be able to do that. Like
right.
and you'd get pressure with just them 2 guys.
In the last 3 years, they drafted possibly two of the best defensive players in the draft in the last 3 years. Um, we could argue Shamar Stewart was the best player in that draft class 2 years ago. Although Peter Woods, won the MVP of the league. Um, but them two were to me were the best. I'll throw my little shot in there a little bit. But this is another piece that D tackle can move anywhere on the D line as well, and could play some stand up outside linebacker as well for this team. Like they have a versatile defensive line. You pair that up with you still got Young sitting here mentoring, right? But then you got Angelo Falk, who's stepped into his own territory.
That's what I was about to say. I think that's
That's what I
another
say. The
reason why they
three
put
of
him in
them.
middle linebacker is because it's like even at middle linebacker, I could give him outside look, definitely ability, but his outside pass rush hasn't necessarily been bad, or his outside presence. Like Falk has made an emergence.
Right.
Shamar Stewart's on his second go around. Even Julian, and then one other person I'm forgetting. I think on the
Linebacker.
other side.
Yeah, now you look at
I
linebackers.
can't.
You're looking at Julian Jones. You got a
Uh-huh.
swing wag and go to the right outside linebacker. Mafe
My
is over
face, that's
there.
what I was thinking of. Yeah, so I'm like, he's never really struggled right there at that point. And I could say if one thing is missing, it might be that freak in the middle.
That second linebacker. Yep, that
Yeah,
second
it
middle
might be the
linebacker.
freak in the middle. So I can understand the trying of it. It's just, it did throw me left a little bit when I saw it. I'm not gonna lie, but I can
If you
understand it after a
if this
while.
is your decision and this is your football team, what are you doing? Are you? I mean, you heard the Cowboys call him juiced up uh,
What am
Parsons.
I doing with that nigga?
And
Shit,
I
I'm
agree.
putting him at
He playing.
outside.
Is he
he
playing
won't be
everywhere?
playing middle linebacker.
But he playing everywhere. But I'm putting him at outside probably because
Right.
you said abilities at middle, where I think you get more of a spread at the right and the left outside linebacker for abilities,
Nah,
depending on what you
me,
want out of
me
them.
personally, what I would do, and I don't even want to be, I shouldn't even be saying this shit. But he should be playing outside linebacker. If you want to play him at the middle, you can play him at the middle. But that way, on third downs, you can put him as pass rushing defensive end. Bottom line. But I
Yeah,
ain't
because I know I'm
because
looking at the nickel and dime packages where he has to have his hand in the
Exactly.
dirt at the end.
And him
most
being at
likely you're
middle,
gonna have
the abilities at middle
Palomalu,
is kind of like,
Isaiah playing your sub linebacker, or you'll have your other guy. He got another guy over there
exactly.
that he be using too. So
So
like
look at it like this,
he
and,
need to
and
go to left outside or right outside so he can play the
Because
pass rush
even in the
linebacker
year,
on pass rush
and that's what I'm
situations.
saying. I feel like you can go from middle to playing the end, but yeah, already being right and left, you could just slide down. You're available in so many more formations to
right,
be all over the field.
right.
But I think he should just keep him at middle linebacker. He should stay at middle linebacker.
Hit him.
Because
I mean,
I like Shamar Stewart alone. This another thing I said. I said Shamar Stewart down there beat me one game by himself. Motherfucker had like 4 or 5 tackles for loss in one game versus me. And in a
problem.
one score game, that's just an issue. So you like You not. I don't think you're gonna get. But that's why I called him. That's another reason why my comparison was the Parsons. Like
Right.
Nah,
when
Parsons is
Parsons
one of
came
the
to league,
better
they didn't really
comparisons.
realize they didn't know what the hell for real. They know you just have a talented player. But then
You
look at the
resurrected
Cowboys.
Parsons' career
Eh,
3 different times: middle linebacker, outside linebacker, DN. Like you was able to jack all trade him. I think they do have that juiced up Parsons where they
Yeah,
can do everything with him. My thing is, I'm looking at when you look at the D line and you see Angelo Falk with 95 speed, 95 cell coming off the edge, who's a monster in his own right, right? Then when you look at the right outside linebacker, I guess you're looking at Jason Anye, right? Um, right there, Harbor's better than him right now, right? We
Yeah,
know that
that's
for
one
a
thing.
fact.
Yeah.
So now, if they decided to move Shamari Stewart to the defensive end, I don't think that's a bad idea either, right? Because Malone is
Well,
still
after the
here.
first year, is he in his third year now?
He,
This is
in
his
his
third year, right?
third.
this is third year. This would be his third
Third year.
season.
So yeah, so 2 years at D tackle after trying a little bit at at your rookie year, freshman year, Jesus, rookie year.
I think they
Um,
have two defensive linemen that they could, two defensive players that they can move around a lot and get the most out of them. Because you want Shamari with that type of speed and that strength at D tackle, but at the same time, it ain't too much of a drop off here with Taiwan Malone
With
as well.
Tyrone Malone.
So he
So
could be your number one. Stewart can go to the defensive end. Now imagine that with Falk and Stewart on the edges, Malone
that's so
mans the
solid.
middle, and then you got Harbor on the edge. Now I would put Julian at middle linebacker, Julian Jones. I will move him to middle linebacker to go along with the Wolverine. And I'm putting Harbor at the outside linebacker, and I wouldn't have no problem putting him on the same side as Shamari Stewart. Imagine those two coming off the edge.
I don't knock him for trying to put it in middle because shit. I mean, I followed up with the same kind of tactic. Two playmakers in the middle trying to follow up with that. I think that sets the standard for your linebacker room is you can
You know
start
what?
and then on the
You know what my
inside.
issue with it is? We're a creature of habit, right? Well, we saw this before. We saw a 6'7" outside linebacker get moved to middle linebacker, and where is he now?
Yeah,
outside
that's the thing.
linebacker
We saw
on
that
the bench.
with the kid George, right, from the Cardinals. We saw him.
Armand,
He thought
same
6'7".
Armand.
He thought 6'7" at middle linebacker. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do with the and it never panned out. So so maybe Harbor comes in and he does pan out and show us something that we wasn't seeing. But I
I
do
wouldn't give
think
it longer than 4 or 5 games. I ain't gonna lie to
man,
you.
I'm playing him at his natural position, and I'll move him in certain like formation subbing him the middle linebacker ain't a problem in my opinion. You know what I mean? Versus playing him at at middle linebacker, different animal in DC. All right, well, can we said the number one pick? You say he shouldn't fall short of defensive rookie of the year. What about possibly the best defensive player in the draft and Nicholas Harbor? Do you see what would
I
be a
mean,
great
Both of
season
these
for
on the
him?
both of these on the NFC side is love to me
I
because they
say
didn't really battle it out. Oh my God.
Right.
history tells us if we one thing about it, do 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 do. This pick, Mr. Stewart, was the third pick in the draft for the
Yes, sir.
football team.
Yes, he was third pick in the
What
draft.
did they? Harvard was the third pick in the draft. What do
Yes.
they have in common?
Uh huh. Man.
So like I just like
Harborough
yeah.
definitely has more of a chance to me because of the simple fact he can move all over as a linebacker, pass rusher. Being a really stud D tackle your first year in the league at this point
Huh?
versus the type of lineman that's in the league on the other side, it's
Yeah.
not hard, but it's harder than moving around all over the place at linebacker. Like you get a lot of chances kind of at linebacker. D
So
tackle, them trenches is real,
yeah,
real.
that shit real. So we do agree that Harbor has the upside and the advantage because of his position to be able to win defensive rookie of the year over Poole.
Yep. Poole's just a freak of nature that's kind of, well, they both are, but Poole's a different freak of nature that's like,
Pools
if
like
he gets going, he might just walk away with that shit.
Pools in the trenches. In the trenches, guy. Harbor has his things that he can do. But like, uh, sheesh. Like, how can you go wrong? Like,
You can't go
I take
wrong.
that back too, man.
Juice
The
Micah Parsons might be the best.
Vikings made a terrible pick. That was a terrible second pick in the draft. Like, how do you let this guy? Like, I don't. I still I might have taken Harbor over the Cardinals pick, but I'm not mad at the Cardinals pick at all. To
Right.
be honest,
Just
like
I mean, the
I was
Cardinals
looking at this
didn't
guy.
need that linebacker per se, but so I get
Right,
that. Yeah, but
And plus,
yeah,
they
you,
but
had a 6'7" guy already, and
six
that they
seven
gave him a
back there,
bad
exactly
he
that
taste.
could have
ain't
gave him heebie-jeebies or some shit.
Yeah,
he
gave
ain't
him
never had nothing like that. It's never been nothing like that D
at
tackle.
D
So
tackle.
like
Hell no.
so it's like you can't be mad at that pick at all. You totally understand that pick. I think that, but like I mean, the same thing. This guy right here, just like man, shit, just like LeBron James on the football field, bro.
This
Man,
That's
nigga
what I
is
see.
LeBron
What's up,
James
baby?
on the football field.
flat out.
Yeah, baby.
Max send Mike an invite.
Bring me
All right,
the drink.
so are we sitting here saying that all right for y'all two to be in that division and gotta go up
Oh
against
my
a guy
lord.
like this, what does Harbor bring to the football team's defense? That's already been good.
Radio profile.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie,
All right.
it's pretty
Oh,
ridiculous.
there
It
go
brings us,
hit
it
a
brings
teller. Keep
worse.
talking about it,
It brings
man.
speed times like three in a sense. It gives
Close
that
the
front
radio.
seven pressure where I think the football team will be able to kind of sit back in those earlier wins, like I mean, earlier wins, earlier seasons in the disc, and sit back and really know that you ain't got but so much time to do but so much shit. I got dogs coming for you,
And
like
then
You give
speed.
them options
like
That
speed. Like
front
I got
seven got
different
speed.
dogs coming for you, and they all yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like from
He can
Fulton
attack you
down
from
to
anywhere.
Harborough, that
Yeah.
shit anywhere, and that's dangerous because he's never really lacked at secondary ever. That's never been the lackey
This
kind of
this
like.
front this front seven now with Harbor addition to him is gonna make that should make that secondary play way better football. It should be easier to play, in my opinion, because like you're not gonna have the time to really do much. These guys aren't just big size wise. They're strong, fast, athletic, and you know a couple of them can play multiple positions up front in that front seven. I like the pick. I love the pick. I think that he's an impact player day one. Um, Now stat wise, do we see what type of stats do we see him having? And if he doesn't, and what could make him be a bust in year one? Like he would
I
have to
don't
do
think
what?
nothing can make him be no
Me
bust
either.
in year one
Me either.
because what happens is like you just said it, and the reason I just say he a super juiced up Parsons, and you said it. I move him around so much to see this, see that, to see what's his best fits, and sometimes he might not have had them stats, all the particular stats, but out of every game, you know, motherfuckers looking around like, where the hell was Parsons at? I know
Right.
Parsons was there. They know he
Right.
was there. So
Right.
like, I mean, you're gonna have to know where the kid is at. Like, I just sheesh,
I feel like
he a
though at three
dog,
though,
man.
anything less than 55-5 is a bust. 40
I mean,
maybe
but let's just say
45 and
he
five.
don't have the five. He could have the pass breakups and stuff. He could have deflections and a couple of interceptions and not really get that pressure on the
But I mean, I would
all
shift
that
it
pressure on the QB.
to
It
the other
just
five. Then I wouldn't put tackles for loss and sacks. I shifted to interceptions and pass deflections. He's got to be able to produce at least 40 tackles, like at least. Now I
he
say
gonna have that.
5 and 5 because
He should have that halfway through the. If he had
I mean he
middle
should,
linebacker, he'll
but
have
if
that
you're not,
halfway
you know
through
what
the
I'm saying.
season, bro.
It just depends. If that's not his niche, if that's not his niche, and he getting blocked every play at 6-7, then you move him, and then you realize, you know what I'm saying. The chance I'm giving a little room of cushion because yeah, you gonna move him around, but regardless of at three at this point in the season with these intangibles, there is still a way you can be a bust.
This all you gotta do. This you don't want to be no. I'm sure Harbaugh already did. I'm sure them coaches out there in the football team already pulled out a lot of Solo Savage and Sonny Styles film tape to see how and Parsons film tape to see how to get this nigga to
Yeah.
work. He ain't gonna be no
Yeah.
bust. He ain't
Yo,
gonna be no bust,
he
bro.
said
He's
that
a
to me
dog.
today. He literally said that to me today, bro.
I
So
know.
Solo
Oh, he's for
Savage,
real.
yeah, he
Oh,
said that shit to me
so
today.
I ain't, and you ain't had that conversation, but I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. He is a dog. Props for you actually saying yep and admitting that shit. But he's gonna be a dog wherever the fuck you use him. But me personally, I would put him at outside linebacker because you can move him a little bit around in more spots because you can still put him as a pass rusher at the rush the rush defensive end on them downs. If you want to move back to the middle, you can move him that. But it's just
So Hitter,
I ain't
why
no
did you
hater.
see
I don't
middle
want to get
linebacker?
all that info out, but I ain't no hater. That's I'm gonna tell you like it is. That's what he should be. I think.
Outside is where he should be.
Hitter, why do you see inside linebacker for Harbor? Is he? I know.
Because he playing beside Wolverine.
Okay. So you like him? You
So
like him?
so when you drafted him, did you already have that conversation in your pre-draft interview with them, like like
Nah,
the
we just
position
wanted them in the
change?
building.
Man, that nigga, you just get the talent in the building work, the rest of that shit out.
Well, I gotta ask, how's he taking it? Because
Right.
you had
That's my next question. Like, does he?
who else moved positions in the league? They first year, it was like first 2 years, they legit moved their position. Well, Simmons in a way, kinda. He went from like that hybrid to straight linebacker, but there's somebody else that moved positions on defense. They first year in the league, like moved completely
Parsons.
positions.
Sony
I mean, Parsons.
Styles. I did it with Sony Styles. I did it with Solo Savage.
I'm
I
talking
did it
about
with
Solo
the
Park.
in the
Savage.
actual NFL, the actual
Oh, and
NFL.
actually,
I think. Well, I mean, Parsons. Did they move his technical position though?
I mean,
Nah, he been playing linebacker, but
they
they had
moved
him at
they
DN.
moved his style. They moved him
They
to a
moved his
pass
Yeah.
style.
rushing.
Yeah.
You got pass rushing
Isaiah
linebackers.
might be
You
the
got,
one that changed. I know he
but
changed actual
yeah.
positions from safety to straight middle
But
linebacker.
that,
But
but I can't even say that he just changed from college to
Yeah,
the
and
NFL
then
because you kind of knew he was
the
gonna play
game had him
linebacker
at
more so.
safety, and he never
Yeah,
played safety at all. He played
at
linebacker.
all,
So
but play
the
linebacker.
game had him at safety, not the Cardinals. Did you ever see him play safety for the Cardinals? I don't think I ever seen
no,
him.
I thought when they drafted him, I thought they drafted him as a safety, and then they moved him. They
Nah, when he
after
came
his.
out his draft,
They talking
he
about
was
they
the
was
number
talking
He
one
about
came
right
out as a
outside
linebacker.
linebacker.
outside
Yeah.
linebacker. Yeah,
Okay. I thought he came out as a safety when they drafted him.
And the
But
funny
yeah, how
thing
did he?
is that's exactly what Harbor was, the number one right outside linebacker in this draft.
So how did he take the move to middle? Like
shit,
when you
he
sat him in the
playing.
next film room and was like,
Right.
you next to Wolverine.
So,
Like, how did that go?
how did that go? Hit it like,
He was all with it. He just want to be on the field.
okay. All right. Well,
Respect.
we
I ain't gonna hate on the pick. I like the fucking pick. Shit.
Nah, I fucking
I
love the
try to
pick.
give him that top five. I'm kind of a little surprised he didn't get picked first, but I totally understand Falk picking Slim first. But he got some of the top
I
line.
think
I mean,
I
I'm
think
glad
Wasn't
he
his
didn't
Pitino.
go
linebacker
last.
I think his linebacker room's so full
Yeah, he ain't really.
and got so much potential. I think he went. I could see
That D
why.
tackle a
Yeah.
different animal
And
too.
then you
Like
looking
and
at 6'10",
That's
390,
different.
almost
Yeah,
a 400
that's
pound
different.
player
That's different.
with fucking cheetah speed at that position and at that size. It's hard
yeah,
to like, you know what I mean? It's hard to pass up on that. Like
it definitely is.
that guy's a monster, man.
Man, I'm
He
looking
just
at hit a linebacker room like Slim
This
Job.
is
Like man, this linebacker room job like
this is
ridiculous
ridiculous,
for
bro. This
real.
is
Cause
ridiculous.
like
I'm like, you asked me how I
that
felt.
boy
I feel like
Marfe.
this is ridiculous right now that I'm
How
looking
long
at
is
this shit.
Wolverine gonna be the number one linebacker over there if you got Harbor at middle linebacker? That's what I want to know.
No,
How Wolverine?
Harper's at the one.
Oh, okay.
Harper's at the
So
one.
you got Wolverine. All
so
right.
he
So you got
can't. I mean, you
Wolverine
said
playing
you
next to
you said
So
his
Harbor,
you
not
IQ.
Harbor
drafted
playing next to
you
Wolverine.
drafted the number one right outside linebacker at 3, and then had him at number. Now he's at the number 1 middle linebacker, ranked 47th in the league, and he ain't touched a snap yet. Oh my god.
Ready to fucking
Oh,
go.
ridiculous.
This is gonna be an
Shit.
interesting year. Now, talk about this. You're looking at that defense, you're looking at that linebacker core, and you guys got to face that. And all of y'all in that division got good running backs. What does this do in your preparation going up against the football team now that they got a freak like this? They got
Nothing
Paul
new
Harbor.
because
They
he done
got
had
Paul
freaks on
Harbor
his
that can play
team.
anywhere.
You expect it.
Oh, we handled that. We handled that type of situation last year. We
Yeah,
drafted
like
6'8", 6'8" on the O line. We addressed
Right.
that shit last year.
like look,
Right.
We are fully equipped to deal
and
with
then you
Harper
got
right now.
Drafted
On
yeah,
God,
drafted the
we
Three Stooges last year. Fuck
yeah,
yeah,
that.
on
yeah,
Let's
God,
we
we
ain't
is
go.
doing
equipped
that
to do
shit.
that
Yes,
shit. So
sir.
we line up with Patron, and we get it
and
fucking
and
done.
and
That's
what
what
and
we do.
what Snake do? He drafted his
Hey,
next
no, hey,
Cummins. Like, let's go.
let's get
Last
it.
year got him the fuck
Hey,
right. So we gonna charge up and hit them with everything we fucking got. Cause god damn,
Sheesh.
we got a 6'9" player too. Shit.
Oh
You
my
know what I'm saying?
God.
You know what I'm
Let's go.
saying?
Y'all like the pick though?
I love this pick though.
yeah,
I ain't gonna
I
lie.
love that
It's a
pick.
damn good
I
pick,
ain't.
yo. That's how you go get him. Go
It's
get him.
this is almost a thing. I don't even know how this guy slips to number three. This
You
is
think
Respectfully,
it's a
so
great
over
pick.
the 6'10" D tackle, he should have been a number one pick in the draft, you think?
I
Or at
mean,
least number two.
he should at least been number two. I don't know how just showing me even just showing me. I don't know how he dropped to number three.
Right. I see what you're saying.
I understand the D tackle, great pick, and great pick, and it fits his system. Plus, we know he got linebackers over there. Flo was a top linebacker. He got Armand back at the right spot, and we know what the Cardinals can do with his D line as well. So I totally understand that pick. That's a great pick. That was actually the right pick.
Right.
And this is the right pick for him too. I just don't know how he dropped to number three. Since he was there at number two, if the Vikings was there, the Vikings has to draft this guy. Like I don't know too many people that had top picks in the draft that didn't have this guy number one or number two on their board, or people that didn't have these two, them two like number one and two on their boards. Period. In the fucking draft, that D tackle on this motherfucker. Like I don't. He was dog. He was number one on my board.
Shit. He was
Hey, for
one on
real.
my board.
I,
He
I
definitely
don't
number one.
I don't think it was too many guys that probably didn't have him high on their board like that.
Three is
And it's
where
not.
he no farther than three is where he deserved to go though. So
And
I
it's
I,
not just
I
because I
love this
know
pick.
he out here, but I just fuck great pick by far. He probably should have went number two. Fuck that quarterback. I
This
would have
fucking
grabbed.
guy.
I'd have took me a quarterback out of free agency.
All right, so God damn. So all right, so damn, I just lost my. Sorry, folks. All right, we back here. Number 4,
Number four.
Chargers.
Is that the
Now,
Chargers?
a kill glass. They let him go. They didn't feel like they wanted to bring him back in, and to lose a kill glass, it almost forces you to have to go quarterback, right? And they did exactly that. One quarterback in the draft. Now with the Vikings drafting the number 1 quarterback in the draft, they drafted number 3 quarterback in the draft, and Marcus Stokes. Um, Dual threat, 91 speed, 91 excel, really good throw power, 98, high 90s and everything when it comes down to all their accuracy stuff. Um, but this a fit for what the system of the Cardinals and what Coach does over there in his passing game.
Chargers.
Yeah,
Not
it's
mad
just
at the
it's just a
pick.
fix.
And we knew they wanted to go quarterback, but just being that he's more of a pure passer, he doesn't run too much at all. I don't. It kind of a little threw me off. Maybe he just wanted a little bit more mobility. But I
That's what I
guess
took it as. Yeah.
we kind of seen it. We kind of seen this with the Bucks, where when they had their old quarterback and they got Ray Wills.
Hmm.
He's more or less of a passer. He runs the ball, but he ain't really moving with his QB. But just sometimes, and on this game, being able to have being able to create that extra couple of seconds, it could be scary and dangerous
And what the Bucks did was they showed you that you could get a guy that's dual threat and still play him into a
as a
passer
pocket passer
and still have him
first.
playing, you know what I mean, pocket passer first. So if the Chargers can adopt that, I think this is first of all, this was a need. The moment,
Right.
in my opinion, the moment you didn't bring a kill glass back, you needed a guy that was going to come in that had the ability, that was already an X factor. So this is a good pick there. They had to go
And
here, and they got to make it work. This is a situation where he comes in, he got to be the day one starter right away, and you gotta see it out and make it work.
we'll say this: that was a Chargers plan, though. So I think that was a great pick. It's good when you have your draft board set and things go as desired. You can actually get that number one player on your draft board. So we do know for a fact that the Chargers was eyeing this quarterback to get a little bit more mobile, get one of the best quarterbacks
If the Vikings
in the
don't
room
take
right
the
now.
number 1 quarterback, do you think they go with the speed quarterback or they go with the number 1 quarterback?
I think they go number one.
Uh, I guess the only reason I would have took the other one. Just I could have seen the other quarterback Riola being a better match with the Chargers because the Chargers more or less a pure passer and
Right.
he's 6'4" as opposed to 6'2".
Yeah, I
So
agree.
that might not seem like a lot, but like
It does
it's a
now. We seeing all these
it's a
giants
lot once
coming
you
in the
see
league.
these giant. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
seeing giants coming out. Like I think he might have been with the other quarterback, but I'm not mad at this. This is still a great pick.
So let's look on the positive side of things, and let's look at it like this. What does Marcus Stokes bring to the table? Florida quarterback, mobile quarterback, really good, strong arm, and has a really good deep ball accuracy, like 95 deep ball accuracy is really good. What could he do to help, to help accelerate the Chargers being back playing and their offense.
Shit. He ain't got no running back worth talking about on his team, so maybe it's his quarterback, running back, all maybe it's his offensive weapon.
They lost a lot. I mean, this is when you're not active, you lose a lot, man. They lost a lot here.
But even if he does have a running back on his team, we're not talking about his running backs. Like
Right.
Saquon Barkley went over there for 3 games. After that, we was running like so. Maybe he'll give you
Saquon
extra
Barkley
yards.
went to the Chargers and became a receiver.
Yeah, like right. Um,
Damn, Saquon.
but
I
I ain't
like the
mad
pick
at.
too. I'm not the pick not
I
bad at
like the
all. It's a
pick
good pick. I'm not mad at the pick at all. I think the kid can come in and right away get it going. Listen, you
and
don't
get
have
what
to.
he need from him.
He's
So
unlocked already. He controls all 5 of his superstar boxes right now, so he's already legit ready to go. It's just it's the with the Chargers the way they throw the football is more throw, run less. How can they manage a guy that that's going to give you accuracy issues? He's going to give you being young issues. How do you manage that and stick through it and be able to get him to play at a high level, knowing you don't have a strong run game to support it?
go get him a running back.
I
Go
agree.
find him a running back.
They got to, and they got to be
You
able to
don't
get a
have
running back. They have to.
you got to because
I agree. I think they need a running back in the worst way, and all
and actually I'll
actuality.
tell you another thing they need a running back and a tight end. So like you need some weapons. We'll look at the rest of the draft picks later, but I'm just skimming through over here like you ain't got the right weapons that you're really accustomed to over here.
Right.
Bryce Moss is 33. You don't have no tight end or running back over here anymore that's doing anything.
They
So
got work to do, and they could probably find a
yeah,
dog still in free agency right now.
in free agency.
They need
That
to,
would be
but
my
they need to
first
get
thing.
they need to get to work. Their new uh GM needs to get to work right now. Like they need to get his team the tools to better do what he can do over there. I do say this. I can't wait to see what they do with the 6'7" receiver that they drafted a couple seasons ago,
Man,
Johnny Wilson. He played really well last year, and I think he was on a breakout. They secured this receiver room. The one thing they didn't bullshit about when he came back on the game, he went and got the
mm-mm.
receiver room fixed. But what can we see out of this team, man? What do you expect? Chargers are back playing football. That gives us another team playing in the West. Do you think they could be a force right now, or do you think they need to go get running back and tight end positions, get that secured? Now, remember, we're looking at one of the
Maybe
best
not the
defensive
tight
linemen in the league
end.
over
Maybe
there.
not the running back though. Definitely the tight end because we know how he uses things. We know a lot of his system. I think, and now that I say it, like the tight end might be more important than the running back, and that's crazy to say, but with a rookie quarterback. But yeah, maybe he need to go get a tight end over a running back. Go like I think
But
if you do that, this quarterback can have some early success.
but
Actually, like
but we do like the pick though.
yeah, definitely, it was necessary. He
All
picked
right.
his need.
At 5, the number 2 overall quarterback from Alabama Holstein goes to the Jets. Now, I'm going to stay brief here because this was just, I wasn't here to make the pick, and the computer picked the best player that was on the board as far as, the draft order that the game actually gives these positions. And they get a guy that's bona fide backup for sure. He ain't going to play over Arch Manning whatsoever. So I think if we were to talk about,
Superstar X Factor.
I think he's an X factor.
So if anybody needed a quarterback or looking for a young quarterback, come holler at the Jets, man. Got a quarterback over here. We gonna give
My
him a little
my
help over
only
here.
problem the way the league going, yeah, he's an X factor. But my only problem the way the
Okay.
league is going, I just think 88 speed, 89 excel ain't gonna get too
Pure
much
backup.
push. So he's a pure backup. Like by default, he'll be a backup. Because my thing is, what if he didn't draft him? Do you think he would have been a starter in this league this year? I don't think so.
Nah, nobody need no quarterbacks. Nah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. All right, so we leave the number 5 pick and we go into Pittsburgh and the Steelers. Now, the Steelers left
Mm-mm.
3 first round corners on the board, and they went deeper into the draft and they found a gem. So I questioned it. Why? What was that? He said because he knew the first rounder guys. He knew them. He did his homework on them. He knew who they was. He didn't know who Malik Red was, and because of that, he knew he was going to be a stud, and he got a fucking stud. He got my godson.
Sheesh.
and I was pissed when he got it. All right, so now what does this do for? So we know the Steelers over the last 6 seasons have built their defense to be really, really good. They got a really good defense, and I think the one thing they was actually missing over here was a number one shutdown corner. Can this guy come in day one and be that for this team?
Yep.
Or
Only thing you
or
gotta
or
question.
do guys like Rudy McDaniels or Julian Barnett, you know what I mean, or Raymond Henderson, can these guys, you know, are they the guys, you know, before are we looking at Malik Red too early? Or do you think
In
he
all
comes in, he's the number
honesty,
one, and he's going
man,
to draw attention
I
to the number one
actually
receivers?
looking at this team like he kind of ain't got no choice but at least the number two. No lower than the number two, but he really might be. He come in here being a number one cornerback. I think
Yeah, young bull gotta
he
play. I
kind
ain't
of
gonna lie.
I
he
He
think
kind of
I
be the
has
think
number one,
talent.
I think he
huh?
has to cover the number one receiver right away. What you were saying? What you say, Hitter?
You can't sit this type of talent.
Nah, you can't.
Yeah.
X factor right away.
Yeah,
98 speed. I mean, 98 jumping. He already got 90
well,
man,
that's what we
91
not saying.
zone, 90. Bro, he's ready.
Maybe number two right away, just
Hmm.
because the number one does have a little bit of awareness and play rec. And then next year for sure he'll be the number one, like
Right,
I mean,
right.
hands down. So that's the at worst case scenario.
But
But
do you Charles
they can
Woodson
throw to the
him,
number two
Champ
more.
Bailey him? Do you Darrell Reeves him? Like me throwing him in a fire rookie year and let him go after the best
You got to.
that
I
the
mean,
offense
see
offers.
what you got.
See
I
what he
mean,
Might
is.
as well see
the
what you got.
second
What you
isn't
losing?
not the best in a sense. It just depends on what type of team you're facing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Schematically, the second could be the best for some people, honestly. So
Yeah,
I think second at this point is still good enough, but you definitely don't take all the pains and misfortunes that come with them.
The number two covers the number ones, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I'm saying. Just yeah, as long as if you're not setting your adjustments to follow, your one and twos cover ones and twos. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's a good matchup. I like him at two. Um, Shit, I feel like he can play two, and I might do some other things. I don't know, man. Look.
Me
Yeah,
personally,
You
he
gave
think
out
I'm being a
enough.
lot different?
he
Look,
playing.
Gave out
Look,
enough tips on here in my division and some more
man, look,
shit,
he in the
man.
slot. He playing
Number
slot
Yeah,
right
I'm
away
about to
from
say
me.
he doing every damn thing, but I promise you
done.
right
I ain't
now,
talking talking about
doing
nobody else
every,
stuff no more.
he doing everything, boy. I promise you, boy. I might
I
put
like
that
the
boy on
thinking on.
return.
I like his thinking though. Hey, shout out to the Steelers for like using his brain a little bit on his own terms and not reaching out asking for no help and no stuff. And you could tell that's somebody that's actually paid attention to some of the ways the drafts go in the leagues and
Hmm.
whatnot. Like, and the Steelers is a team that's we've seen them pick first round picks from the Thibodeaux. I think he took another defensive end in the first round. Like he's been
If
addressing that
you if
defense
you
over
if
there.
you
Like
look if you look at this defense, it's lights out. You know, you got Thibodeau sitting here, right? Who was a first round pick for him. Then you come
top
over here,
offensive
Marvin
end,
Jones Jr., one of the top DNs in his
deep.
draft class,
That's what it is,
right?
Marvin Jones. Yeah,
Then you're looking at the D tackle. They got Walter Nolan with the number one D tackle in his draft class. Then you're looking at N'Kobe Dean, who was one of the top linebackers in his draft. Like they've been getting it done, man. Oklahoma's Brian Samoa, he's a dog. They got some good players here, man. Their defense is solid. Um, to me, a little bit of still curtain looking this a little bit right now. So like to me, they did the right thing by getting a cornerback. To go get them a shutdown cornerback, I think it caps off what they needed defensively. I like their safety play. They are revamping there, and Jamie Robinson from Florida State, monster. They have it right now. I think they needed a corner in the worst way. I think this was a really good Steelers pick in my opinion. And it was a thought out pick and understanding what they got and go get what they need here. So I love the pick here. And I ain't just biased because of my godson, but I love the pick here. I was mad that he got him, but love the pick here. Usually a 5'10" corner wouldn't go that high like that. We haven't really seen that done. And usually guys want size at their corner along with speed.
and
So shout out.
that's what I mean. You got to get a Steelers a shout out for like
Hmm.
not coming in constantly just picking the same old pieces
Same
and
position
actually
every
attacking
season.
some of the stuff that he could really need and pieces he could really use.
Yes.
It was a great pick. That's the one hole.
It's a breath of fresh air when you know a guy just doesn't, let me grab his receiver again. Just grabbed 5 of them last year. Or he actually picked his need. So like I like to see that.
And then, it's a thing like it's not this guy is not the typical type of a 6'2", this, that, and the fourth. He's a 5'10" cornerback. So going like setting your draft board, trusting in your way of thinking that you had over there in your plan, and actually following it through. Like, that was a great pick, man. Good shit.
So Bake Sanders is probably one of the most at the time when he was drafted 7 seasons ago.
Underrated.
No, he definitely
Yeah.
did not achieve what he was destined to achieve in the league. But at 28 years old, they re-up right now and they go get Jarrett Gibson and they
Man,
get a monster guy with
man, two 1,000-yard seasons. One, two, three,
He
four,
suffered
five,
from the
six,
Boone
seven.
Jackson effect.
In 7 years, he had 2,000-yard season. Oh, my bad.
but they run it
Go
back
ahead.
though. Now they say, you know what, we fucked
Right.
up there. Let's do it again. Jarrett
Let's not be
Gibson.
scared.
They get the number one running back in the draft. 98 speed, 98 excel, very elusive, and,
You know,
and 88 break tackle, 90. That's really good. Like this back is day one starter right now, in my opinion. Anybody agree or disagree, or do you still ride the
plug and
Bake
play,
Sanders wheels?
I mean, probably
mixed
number
bag.
one starter, man. Blake Sanders still gets carried number one starter probably, but I guess I kind of question it because like you're getting the same kind of back. If
Right,
it didn't work,
but when
like
you don't make the pick, the computer gonna pick the best
right,
on the board, and they
best
picked it.
available.
I don't think it was a wrong pick either, because I do think they could use
That's
a
a
running
great
back.
pick. It was a need. It was a
Yeah,
need. You right.
yeah.
Great pick. Great pick.
Now let's see
Let's see
how
what
he's
happens.
used, because this guy
See
can he could he's the
if that coaching staff learned anything.
right. He's the second coming of Big Sanders. That's why I say you get another chance at it, because they definitely failed with Big Sanders, so they get another chance at it. All
What he
right,
probably need to do, they probably need to do, go watch some of that Bills footage. Go watch
Or
what
he,
some
or he,
Bills
or he
use.
got a piece he can trade with the Chargers.
yeah,
Oh yeah, he definitely do.
yeah,
Yeah, he got pieces. He can make trades, make some moves.
yeah.
Maybe
Chargers
even
don't
three
get too
team
rats.
trade.
But nah, that ain't it. If it ain't a tight end or something, Chargers ain't really. I don't see the Chargers really going out doing no trades, no running backs. He'll go grab one from the free agency, bro.
Yeah, I think he'll
He
pick
don't
up
give
one
too
from
damn
free
about no
agency.
running backs. That's the only thing he ain't
The
gonna.
number two running back in the draft was Stacey Gate, 6 foot, 225, and this running back
Jeez.
room is fucking loaded over here. In Kansas City right now, man. They got at least three capable running backs that could be the starters over here. I love Emmanuel Henderson. I think that it's his time, but having satellite on him, you could tell he's a guy that they use for third down back shit. And then you're looking at Rashad White at 225 pounds. They go get another guy, Stacey Gage. And this is another situation. If you don't make, you're not just making your pick. They're going to pick the best available. My understanding, they didn't need this guy at all. So this is more of a I would trade than anything else, or I would trade one of these backs off this roster to go get maybe something you wasn't able to get by missing the draft. But I like Stacey
Do
Gage. If
you
you really
trade
look at
Stacey
him,
Gage or do you trade Rashad White?
I mean, at this point in the
Shit,
league,
don't even.
I,
Rashad,
I
it
would I
don't
would
matter.
probably keep Rashad White because
Emmanuel,
he's
Emmanuel Henderson.
overall wise he's ready up. I like Emmanuel Henderson though. He's good.
Yeah, like
But but you can keep White as well because the 90 awareness. Instead of starting all over with a Stacey Gage, I would trade Stacey Gage to somebody that can that's going to have to put him on the field right now and need him because he's a power
six
back.
foot, 225.
He's a power back,
Yep.
94. You know what I mean? Break tackles, 94, 95, stiff arm, 95. He's a power back in an offense that's probably not going to use him at all because what's the difference between him and Rashad White?
No, not it ain't.
He's
And,
younger.
and, and White 26 years old, so it's not like he's super old. You know what I mean? Like so, yeah, I would probably try to trade him, get him out of there, and see what happens. All right, at 9, the Jaguars trade to the Baltimore Ravens, and we saw three running backs go uh, at 6, 7, and 8. I mean, no, I'm sorry. At 7, 8, and 9, running backs went, and the Ravens grabbed Jason Nelson out of the draft. 6 foot, 225, 98 speed, 98 excel, and 95 break tackles all across the board. Now, ask me this question that I would say to the Chiefs:
Why
Why?
so many running backs?
You about
Why did they go running back though at having a
you about
top
to
10
let
pick?
one of them go.
Yes,
You
sir.
about to go ahead and move one of them.
Yep, the Chargers about to get one of them.
Hello, Dallas.
I picked the kid that I coached. Bottom line, I coached this kid, played it. You know what I mean? So I picked Agent. We call him Agent Zero. He's
Agent
a
Zero.
dog. He's the best running back in South Jersey in his age group right now. So of course I'm picking him, and he's going to play this year. So between Gibbs, Robinson, and him running the football, he's going to play. I am interested in trading. So if anybody really need a running back, come holler at me. We can make something happen. But for the meantime, this kid will be on the field. I don't know how much of an impact he'll have this year, but we're looking for another guy to give us what B. John Robinson has given us, and we think he has that ability, the size, and everything else to go along with it to be able to be that guy.
6 foot 225. And power back.
And then and at this stage, we picking the best available player. You know what I mean? We're gonna pick what we want. We only move
Pick
down to
what you
9 to
want,
get
not
him.
in.
It's not a need, it's what we want. So I think we was in a good space to be able to, have a draft like that where we just picking the players we want. I would believe me, Malik Red would have probably went there instead of him, and I would have got my godson over him in a heartbeat. But I I would ask you, Snake, what would you do if you were in my shoes right now? Do you play him a lot? Do you play him?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy as it sounds. Man, Robinson might be being shocked. He been the same back, him and Robinson, but that's kind of tough too because built Robinson good and everything. So like, yeah, he definitely get on the field though.
My plans is to play him every game. My plans is to utilize three out of the four running backs as runners, and then two out of the four as guys third down type backs that catch the ball at the backfield, things like that. So, but again, I'm interested in trading. I'm not trading him. Jason Nelson won't be going anywhere. But there are two guys on this roster that could go, and that's Gibbs and Malik Brown.
Brown. Yeah, I knew that.
All right, so we're looking at pick number 10. I'm gonna keep it 100. I love pick number 10, bro, and I'm glad I ain't gotta go too far to look at it right now. Now, I thought, here's what I'm gonna say: the Florida boys in the league. If you don't think they're not gonna get the Florida boys, then you fucking crazy, right? But I thought Willis McGahee's son
Linebackers.
was gonna go 10. I did not expect to see the Florida State guy go in front of him, but I understand it. Um, if you look at the right end for the Rams, they picked up Jeremiah Alexander, who played on the same team as Peter Woods in high school, and he was a top five, top three lineman in his draft. Um,
Oh yeah, the DNs.
the Rams just did something great here, in my opinion. I think they're building their roster and they're building their needs, and they just got two dogs to come off the egg. Because Drake Jackson is still here, and then you got the new kid Zena.
Zena.
Um, day one starter.
Umeozulu.
This is day one starter, right? He gets on the field right now. No ifs, ands, or
Yes,
buts about
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Max, how do you feel about this pick? Because you was looking for DNs this draft as well. You got to the 15th spot looking for a DN, a pass rusher in this draft. When he went off the board, was you disappointed? Mm-mm-mm.
Well,
Fix your
Yeah,
mic,
we
though.
still disappointed.
this a definite need for him because he got a 30-year-old DN over there, PF4, that's about to get
Hmm.
dropped. So he's definitely a day one starter. I think he's one of the top DNs. Like shit, 6'5". He was a top, right? 6'5",
He said no, but on
94,
my board,
95.
I knew something was wrong with his mic.
Okay.
I mean, at 94 overall with the pass rushers we got, I'm at Subway right now. Let me see something.
He said he had Subway.
Right? Look at my
Man,
co-host,
hey,
man.
look.
Y'all niggas is
Man, you better
assholes.
get with Hitter. Hey, look, you better get with Hitter. You about to get fired again, man. You better get with Hitter
Yo,
and
out of the
log in like
with
Hitter
the
at
with the
work.
defensive
Back
ends we
up
got in this
train.
league, this is another high talented player because he's 45 in the league right now at the end. He's the number 45th ranked defensive end in the league right now. That's a dog. That's a win for the Rams, man. I think they continue to build this roster and they're putting themselves in
With
a
94
situation right
speed
now.
from the DN spot.
Mm-hmm. 6'5", 255. He's a flat out athlete. So I like this kid here. I love the pick. Shout out to Bo. All right, now as we continue to go down, we saw the football team traded the 11th pick to the Seahawks,
Titan. Oh, Seahawks.
and the Seahawks at 11 picked cornerback Desmond Ricks. All right, he's the number one cornerback, might be the number one player in the 2024 class coming out of high school. Right, 2024 class. He's the number one player overall in that class right now, and they're saying they're giving him Travis Hunter comparisons. Dog ass corner, I think, in opinion. This was the number one corner on the board, and this is what I said with the Steelers going with a third round corner, a graded third
You
round
said the
graded corner.
Seahawks?
The Seahawks got Desmond Green, but what they did was they didn't keep him; they traded him. So it was a trade that happened after the draft between the Baltimore Ravens and the Seahawks. So really, their real pick was Jordan Davis because they got the D tackle Jordan Davis from the Baltimore Ravens and traded for Desmond Ricks. So Baltimore gets Desmond Ricks. So we'll go back to my roster and look at what we got in this cornerback room. Now Anthony Israel's here to retire, and actually I'm about to drop him now. He ain't gonna have no abilities. We don't want him as a we want our tight end to have it. So we brought Israel back in. We
I see
traded
he
him to the
dropping his
Titans.
30-year-olds right here online in front of everybody. So, I better get them 30-year-olds listening to Max. So he
So
dropping them.
here's the situation. I do have a cornerback on the block right now. If anybody's interested in the 6'3", 215-pound corner, you better come correct. But I'm interested in the trade here because we like this kid. I don't care if he's smaller. We like this kid. To me, I think he should have been the first corner to go off the board, but I respect why the Steelers dug deep and did what they did. I'm not mad at it because they did get the best corner in the draft by getting Malik Red. Obviously, my godson, so I biasly made him. But this is the number one corner in the draft. We was able to trade for him, and that gives us three number one corners in their respective draft classes. So we get Desmond Ricks, Derek Stingley, and Travis Hunter. We're looking for this kid to play right now this year to figure it out. So our cornerback room is loaded just as well as our running back room is as well. So now we go to number 12, and here's where the Miami boys who know the Miami kids ain't trying to play no games with it. And he went and got, I mean, this was a steal. And if anybody that was looking for a pass rusher is lying if they didn't say this was one of the first guys they were looking at right here, Willis McGahee, the fourth right now. You're getting a flat out athlete. Everybody know who his dad was, Willis McGahee, the running back. And this kid is only a sophomore in high school right now. So he got a lot more football to grow on. I think he'll be a 5-star before it's all said and done. Before he's ready to go to college. And I love this pick for the Panthers, man. I think the Panthers really, I mean, you got to think about it. Obviously, Antonio Doyle from Jackson State is a great pick, but they upgraded here right now because this guy been in the league it's going to be his 5th year in the league. He only had 92 overall, and they got a guy behind him right now that they drafted that should start day one that's already at 91 overall with the green arrows up. And if you look at it, it goes along with another big time pass rusher they had a couple drafts ago. Remember, Jermaine Johnson from the first row draft class is a monster as well. So they're getting better at the D line, like they're too deep at the D line. We really look at it. Gabriel Harris is the superstar, and then at the right end, you're looking at Doyle and McGahee right now. So in my opinion, I think they got depth on the D line, but Willis McGahee starts right away, right? Day one starter.
Yeah, no doubt, no questions.
I
No
mean, he
questions
already got
asked.
90 power moves, 90 finesse moves, 93 block share. He's ready to go right now, man. We should see some work out of him. Now, so let's talk about a guy that's going to start day one for the Panthers team. Do you see double-digit sacks out of this guy in year one?
My memory serves me correct. What was that damn guy name, man? It's not the first time we've seen the Panthers go
Yeah, they
defensive end
drafted
or pass
D1. Their
rush. To
first ever draft with us, they drafted the number
D
one, the D tackle number
D
one overall. DN, I mean DN number one.
right.
He's not on the
So
roster no more, unless they moved
yeah,
him to D tackle or something. Let me see.
they
Right
came
now
back
he ain't
and
on. Nah, he ain't on the roster no more.
got Jermaine Johnson high in the
Yep,
draft.
yep. Because I was
He
going to
was a
get him
first
too.
round pick.
Florida State, I wanted him. I remember
So
that they came and got him in the top 10 pick, or top 12, somewhere around there. So how do you like this pick though?
I like to pick somebody we had on our board as well. Sheesh, 98 hit power. 93,
You
93.
gonna kill
Sheesh.
somebody?
Yeah, nice pick, man. Good pick, man. Nice to way to not go after no cornerbacks and wide receivers like some people. Uh, Shit, that's a great way to fill some holes. It's a dog. Should
Yeah.
be a dog.
I think they get themselves depth on that D line, and you know when you got pass rush like that, and you can switch up, you can do some things. Now the question is, are you going to use that pass rush, all four of them? Or how do you get them on the field and make them work? All right, so the Browns picked Heaven Brown Schuler out of Missouri, at pick 13 at D tackle. How you like this pick?
Uh,
I'm gonna say a project in a sense
the
because
Browns,
the Bears pick
Bears. Oh yeah,
Heaven Brown Shoulder. I mean I like the pick. I'm not mad at the pick, but you know this is what happened when the computer picked for you.
the computer pick.
Because
Yeah,
it's probably
wasn't a
at
need pick,
13
but
it was some better D tackles left at 13. So if he was really looking for D tackle, and he would have probably picked somebody way better than this at the time. But I'm not mad at the pick. It's just at 6'4", 345. Most in previous drafts way back, probably in Game of Thrones, you would look at this guy and thought he was a dog. But the way these D tackles coming out now is like,
what you're saying, just to go, if you go down a little bit further, you see that the Bears. That's what happened when you miss a draft in the computer
yeah,
drafts.
they
They
drafted Justin
drafted this
Herbert.
other D tackle, David Stone.
Hmm.
And if you look at him, he wasn't drafted till halfway through the fourth round, I believe. I'm
Yep.
just double checking.
And at
And
pick
then
13,
round four, pick 13.
right.
And that's what he took the same thing. He took almost the same type of D tackle, if not a slightly worse, but the same type of D tackle in the first round. So
Right. That's just unfortunate. He in
it's
Germany.
unfortunate.
His time schedule is a little different than ours. He missed the draft there. All right, so let's go to the Colts. And at pick 14,
It's a tight
the
end.
Colts picked the tight end. They picked the number one tight end in the draft. And in my opinion, I thought it was a hell of a pick for them because where the fuck is the starting tight end at? They cut him. See, I got to turn off the. I was supposed to turn off the overall cut release because the team when he wasn't on for the preseason. What's
Right.
the name? And his tight end is not. Yeah, niggas got to get that back, bro.
Yeah, he
Um,
lost some of his players.
he lost to
Some of the
Notre.
best players.
He lost to Notre Dame tight
Okay.
end. All right, so we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to get Nano to. Hopefully Nano already downloaded his game back up and shit, so he can get on and give him back to you.
And
If
Rob
not,
got his
if not,
running back.
I'll
So
get D West to
Rob should
do
be
it.
home like 30 minutes or so, like 7:30. So I think Rob got his running back. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, I'll
But
take care of that once I get off the show.
no worries. Gotcha. Yeah,
But,
but so
but,
having said that, like the pick is still a great damn pick.
mhm.
Like man, we've seen. I'm gonna say we've seen some of those generational talents coming at tight end. Just immediately comes to mind. The Chargers had one, the Bucks had one. Then we've seen the Ravens. There's a lot of them. There's quite a few teams that got some dog tight ends.
but the
Tight
trend
ends
the
before,
trend
but
started with the Chargers and
right. Started with the Chargers,
and 99 reasons,
99 reasons, and then
right?
yeah, this is a dog. Man, I could have kept on going. The Rams, Panthers grabbed one. Shoot,
Hmm.
you had one or two over there hitter. Like they around out here. Like,
Yeah.
but I think it's a great pick. 6'5", 95, 95. Georgia
And
dog.
and
Like I mean, like
if you see the guy from Notre Dame that they had and what they've done with
man,
him being in there, this is a great compliment tight end. I think the Colts can go to a two tight end set and really be dangerous at that tight end position with Landon Thomas and I can't remember the Notre Dame kid's name right now.
Michael Mayer.
Michael
Michael
Mayer,
Myers.
yeah.
Michael
Michael,
Mann.
because when Michael Mayer came in the same class as Eric Gilbert, DW, he came in that class. And that year, remember, all three of those tight ends were 1,000-yard receivers.
That shit was crazy. Yep.
Look
It
what
was
he
a
gonna
great
do
pick.
on corner routes and seam routes with that 98 special catch.
2 tight end set. Sheesh.
Yeah, I like him. Great pick, Mike. Mike,
Mm-mm-mm.
what made you pick this guy? What was your thought
I love
process?
my
Because he
tight end.
wasn't
He
he
was
wasn't
best
from Notre Dame.
available, and Ash was 30 years old, so I had to replace Ash.
So you definitely needed that number two tight end. That's what you're saying. Had to replace him.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. And best available too. That was a great pick by you. Definitely a great pick. What's your plans? How do you put that together with Mayor?
Try to use them both.
Okay.
Might take a page out of Corey's book.
Okay. I know what you're saying. All right, say no more. I got it.
Hmm.
All right, he got his thinker. He got his thinker cap on though. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so at
Hey,
15, the
but you
Titans.
gotta give him a shout out for being up front. Say, look, yeah, I'm gonna use page out of Corey's book. Boo, 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 boo. Hey, giving him some love. Good shit. And there's a awareness only a 69, so you got to raise that to 75.
He also got Jake Parker though too from Miami, 97 overall. Oh my God, this is more of a blocking tight end too.
Straight blocking tight
This,
end, but
I got some. I'm waiting. I thought the Rams was going to do it. I'm waiting for somebody to come out and show us a three tight end set, mean run game, and force guys that play linebackers on the field and not four DBs and three DBs that have come out and run formation, run sets for defense, and have to cover three really good tight ends. And I think the coach can do it, where a heavy run game and you use your tight ends as weapons because these guys, you got guys like Michael Mayer and I know Landon Thomas at 6'5", 245 can be a beat play out as the number one receiver in three tight end sets or even two tight end sets and him at receiver. I'm waiting to see somebody utilize that offense. I thought the Rams was going to do it. They never did it. Never really got into it. But I'm waiting to see it and because I think the way the league is built with all that skill, all the skill position aliens running around, if you go big like that and can utilize that all three tight ends and sets, I think you give teams a problem because it's a different look that nobody's paying attention to. Don't make me be the one to do it. Anyway, I'm just gave you a gem there, Mike. Use it because Hoodie just pointed out the other tight end is just oh my God, you're a monster. Yes, sir. Use them the right way. Get your roster used, and you're gonna be in a situation.
draft a round 4 pick
And I gotta
32.
drop his age to 21. Remind me of that. Or anybody that's not a real draft player, not a real life person, they gotta come out 21 years old. So if any of y'all that's
Oh,
watching
shit.
got players on your team that's a rookie and they 22, they need to go down to 21 years old. So I'll take care of it. All right, so that was pick 14. 15, the Titans traded their pick to the Giants, and at 15, the Giants came and got a pass rusher and Fatim Diggs. Now, his brother, Fidel, is in the league
Fidel.
already on the Houston Texans defense line right now. So now you got another family member in the league from Camden, New Jersey, and Fatim Diggs. I think his upside is a little bit better than his brother's per se. And has a chance in New York to be a better player than his brother is in Houston. Let's get to the Giants roster now. I wish his ass in and walk the subway so we could talk to him about it. But since he's at
I've
Subway,
been said I was back. Said I
well,
was back when I was talking about Mike.
so what do what you've been screaming for Dean since last night after the draft. I mean, you haven't shut up about it. So what did you get?
Tell us about Fatima.
Mm-mm. I
All
think
right, tell us about 15.
Fatima Diga.
I think I just got an athlete, a player that's gonna be able to come in and
Mm-mm-mm.
bring that young excitement to the D line. A D line that's usually been really well with the run. Um, It's kind of been leaning towards some certain guys for pass rush, and they've been coming through. I think the team comes right in and kind of like feels like no man's land shoes, which is like gonna be easier for a confidence boost in a sense. He's gonna be able to show his athleticism and make plays early for us.
So let me ask you this. You got a pretty solid defensive line. You got depth on your D line right now. What's your goal with your front four?
Um, Like a sack goal or like what are we talking like?
Like you got depth,
Just an
you got
overall,
team. What are you?
and what
What's the? How do
direction?
you?
Maybe
Yeah.
not
What's the?
goal the wrong word. What direction? Talk about the direction of your D
Yeah.
line. I think
Yeah.
what he's trying to say.
I want you to put the puzzle together for me.
Um, I mean, the insides that we got, they gonna plug holes in a sense, let the linebackers wreak havoc, and then on pass wise, I mean, Atkinson's coming off a 12 sack year, sophomore year, I mean rookie year. Um, as a rookie being a sack leader for us, we have high expectations into the sophomore year. We're not asking for team to come in and be a sack leader, but while guys pay attention to 6'9" and Atkinson coming off the edge at 6'7", for team is pure athleticism, and we're just gonna let him, wreak havoc. He's gonna get a lot of one-on-one blocks. I feel like early and often, and if you ain't got fast offensive linemen, shit, I think he'll cause a lot of people problems.
Sorry for you.
When the New York Giants struggle, is because they struggle against the run game. Your last game in the NFC Championship game, you gave up almost 200 yards on 29 carries to a very good running back in Jaleel Ruggs. I bring that up to say, what though drafting him, coming up to 15 to get a guy like this, what does that do? What are you saying to these teams that want to run the ball at you?
I think he just adds that extra element of speed. You can't coach speed. Speed kills in a sense. Guys that come out, you can coach speed a little bit, but guys that just are fast and athletic, you know what I'm saying? Those certain intangibles you can't make a person athletic. Um, and just to match them up properly against you going against teams with the Bucks have a great athletic, strong offensive line. Cards have an athletic, strong offensive line. The Ravens, Cowboys, I can go on, athletic offensive lines. So if we can't match you with necessarily size, match you with athleticism and let playmakers make plays. Peter Woods isn't the fucking hugest guy on the field, but the guy's a pure athlete and a dog. Um,
Oh,
so we kind of follow in that sense.
This is your Peter Woods in your sense. I
I mean,
understand that.
after
I
watching that, I feel like a
understand that.
lot of guys.
I'm not even playing
Yeah,
you
yeah.
out. I think the
I mean, look
whole
how many
league
people
went D
drafted DN. I was
line.
about to say, look
Yeah.
how many people drafted
So I
DN.
get what you're
Niggas
saying.
is looking
Like,
for that shit. So I mean, like we this was a guy high on our board. So I mean, we got high expectations after
so
watching
so so
somebody
let's
dominate.
let's stay in your division with a running back like Zeus White, with the running backs as a tandem in Washington, with the new phenom Owens over there in Dallas. When you had a
rookie
pre
of the
when you had a
year.
when you had pregame when you had pregame pre-draft meetings with this guy, and you talk to him about what your division has and the run game and the offensive lineman that's in your division, what questions would you ask him to make you be like, yeah, this is our guy?
Um, just how comfortable he was being, more than a quote quote speed guy. Because although speed kills, you got to be able to get nasty in the NFC East with those running backs, the type of linemen that's had the play styles in this division at times. Uh, and his response was nothing than less like, that shit doesn't bother me. I play to kill, play fast, play hard. Kind of like how I don't know if you ever seen like how Buda Baker was talking to Chandler Jones about like he was like, yo, how do you play like that? Like you play like you really have nothing to lose, and he was like, I don't. Like I know I'm five whatever, I'm 5'10", 5'11". I play to kill. Like so I just think he has that mentality, and we can accept that here in New York because we need that on the defense at this point. Killers.
I love the answer. And then I say this to you: last time we had seen a freak like this come out of Penn State, it was Adolphe Owe. Do you see similar traits in him as Adolphe Owe?
I think Owe was able to do a little bit more gravitation, like from left to right. You know what I'm saying? He was able to do a little bit more, just just the way he attacked the game, kinda. I think the thing with Fatim is he does play with a big lack of fear. He's like I said, not the
This
six
kid been
nine
playing
guy.
football since he was 7 years old. He's from my neighborhood. He's been playing football since he was 7 years old. In the
Kind of.
sense of Adolphe didn't play until high school. Do you think that being around the game so long as he did, that he's a step ahead of Adolphe when Adolphe was drafted in the first round for the Baltimore Ravens?
I think he's a step ahead as far as really understanding the game and with the way it comes to him. When we watched film on him and we looked at the type of player we was getting, he understands like football guard. He understands offensive keys, guard away. Uh, down block that way, guard away, pull. Understands taking on a pull on block head on. Not letting a guard come to you, but go meet that guard. You know, every play isn't going to be a stat play when you're in them trenches. It's about impact too, but being able to do other shit on the stat sheet, you know, pays dividends. And I feel like he's gonna be a step ahead in that sense, understanding the game just a little bit already.
All right, last question. With a bunch of D linemen coming out of the draft and being first round picks, make your case why Fatim Diggs will be the best D lineman in the rookie class this year.
Um, I would say he's more of a final puzzle piece. Where on some people's rosters, the guys that they drafted are beginning puzzle pieces for their defensive line, or you know, like okay, this is close to the final in touch, or we got a 1-2 now. I feel like here he plays the role of a final puzzle piece, so it allows him to complete a puzzle in a
Meaning,
sense.
I don't have. I mean, that was one of those. Remember what's that shit he did before? What the
It's
fuck are
just
you
about
talking about?
it's just about
what
like
is mine about?
I'm drafting them in a different
Sometimes
need, in a
seldomly,
different space as somebody
Sometimes
else.
seldomly right.
Sometimes
I
seldomly.
sometimes, but rarely.
I'm drafting them in a different need than some people. Some people are drafting their D linemen, to start a spark. I'm drafting this DN to
The plug into what you
to
already have
to
going on.
finish yeah to
Yeah.
finish the puzzle piece. Like
So it's the last piece of the puzzle on that D line, is what you're saying.
I believe so.
Okay. All right, I agree. Now, as much as I want to get to that Cowboys pick 16, we have to stop the show here. And I'll pick up. Matter of fact, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna stop the show here because the person I play doesn't have he on his mic shit right now. I gotta be asleep by 7:14. Can you play right now? Damn, it's 7:13. Cuz like, nah, I'm playing. Fucking with Mike. Oh God. All right, so with that being said, fellas, we got through the first 15. We're going to do the entire first round, everybody's pick. We're going to talk about everybody's player in length like we did today. So we'll be back, and I guarantee that show will be back tonight. And to guarantee that show back tonight, it will be my first gift show because it's our gift. It'll be the second part of the premiere. And when we do come back on here, make sure y'all tune in because it will be a gift show. Other than that, I appreciate it. It was fun having the guys back, man. Snake back on the Diaper Dandies conversations. It always makes the shows go good. It's my favorite show after the draft. So thank you. Appreciate y'all for paying attention. Holla at me. Holla at you. Tune into that Ravens Bengals game. Other than that, we're out of here.